I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mel.
Girl, let me tell you, I only had maybe a little less than half of that drink.
When you're drinking, you just gotta drink more.
I am a strongly worded email.
Actually, that feels in line, though.
That is not true.
No, listen. And every now and again, when somebody get out of line, you just yell, "Pop the trunk."
I'm the juice to her gin. Did we hit record?
Is it working? Is it on?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gin and Juice podcast. My name is Melissa.
My name is Melanie.
We're real life sisters. We get on this podcast every single week and talk about what the heck we want to talk about. We want to thank our sponsors.
We absolutely do. And that is none other than Ernan, Zokdoc, and Alloy.
Very good. You'll hear more about them later in the episode. We will be here on a little quick note. It is Friday, and my kid... This is not McKinley's early day. It's like Wednesday, isn't it? What?
She said
What?
She said she gets out early. But is that today?
Who are you talking about?
McKinley.
Oh.
She might get out early. I might have to go. Hold on.
Girl, I thought you were reading somebody's comment.
No.
I was like, who's getting out early? Is it the girl who her job is getting downsized? Did they tell her she has a half day today?
That was real, just so we're clear. What happened is she told me, I'm sorry, I interrupted your story, but what happened is she told me on April Fool's Day, and she said it was Friday, and I said, okay, bye. And then I guess because I didn't react, she came back and she said, actually, Mom, my half day, I get out early tomorrow. And I said, it's April Fool's, you're just kidding me. But I thought it really was today. The April Fool's joke was that it was tomorrow, but I thought it was real. Greg is saying the whole thing. Let me check the website.
I was about to say, this sounds like she may have been for real on one of these days. This sounds like...
I should just call the school. Keep going.
I
Tell
don't
me.
even remember what I was talking
Joe
about.
is something early.
Joe just has a half day today. He actually does have a half day. So I do have to leave in about an hour to make sure that I get to that school on time to pick him up.
We like to start with the little story we call Long Story Short. That was an example
Absolutely.
of a long
It's real life
story
out here.
short. We to kind of catch you up on the things that are happening over the course of the week. Anything?
Well, what I was going to say, because we had originally started talking about being an adult and dealing with real life stuff, and I had to be an adult, right? I had stock options from when I worked at Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
When I worked there, they gave you stock options like every single month, right? And when you get them, they tell you they expire in 10 years. So you have to like exercise them or you will lose them in 10 years. So of course, I'm like, this is like put away money. I haven't thought about it since then. The problem is 10 years is next year. Mm-hmm. July, it came quick.
Mm-hmm.
And because you get them every single month, starting July of next year, every single month I would be hitting an expiration date or you got an exercise date, right? So having this back and forth, this also is prompted, I'm interrupting myself. This is also prompted because I saw somebody yesterday on one of the social media platforms that exists who was asserting his opinion that I don't understand why people my age, millennials, are freaking out about the stock market. Like, what is the problem? So there was a bunch of people who were responding, and so I was like,
definitely freaking out about
yeah,
the stock market.
right. But I was like,
Isaiah is too.
it's forcing me to make this decision. I mean, I would have had to make it anyway because the 10-year mark is coming. Mm-hmm. But it's a matter of like, oh, shoot, I need to do it now because if I don't, what this money is currently worth won't be worth that. Mm-hmm. Remember when people used to be jumping off buildings off Wall Street when we had the crash? I said, I get it because this was worth more even a couple months ago. So I had to do it. I wasn't planning to do that until I got close. But like all this conversation makes you really have to like mentally tap in and be an adult and say, well, what is the best financial decision right now? What do I do for, yeah.
But I don't even understand the guy's logic because if you have a 401k.
I know, even that.
If you have a pension.
I forgot even about my 401k. I was like, dang it, I should have took that out too because now it ain't nothing in there.
If you're working a job and you have a 401k, if you're working a job and you have a pension, it is directly impacted by the state of the stock market. I don't understand his point.
Yeah.
You should be concerned about the stock. I'm so confused on his point. Isaiah is concerned about the stock. He yesterday was like, so listen. He literally said to me, I feel like this is a bad time for me to be an adult.
As it is for all of us.
Imagine how millennials feel.
Yes.
We've been through so much.
So much.
We've been through so much.
Yeah.
And the stock market had its worst day since before 2020.
Yeah.
Yesterday? I'm sorry. All these days are starting to merge when I'm just now realizing it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It literally feels longer ago.
Yeah.
And it was just yesterday. Like, this is... Dude, what is your point? We're the millennials that are working with 401ks. At our age, some people have been at their jobs for 10. Well, we also be moving around a lot. But for some people, you could be at your job for 10 or 15 years. When I worked in banking, I was at that bank when I left almost 10 years. If I was still there, I easily could be at 20 or 25 years. My whole everything would be in that 401k.
100%. Because I haven't thought about the 401k, I'm worried about these stocks because the expiration. And I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot about the 401k. I literally should have pulled that a week ago, too, to put it in the same account that I'm putting this stock stuff. I wasn't even thinking. And now it has just gone down. The money has gone. And listen, we don't want to work till we're 100.
Don't pull that now. Because
the 401?
Yeah, I wouldn't pull it now.
Just leave it now?
Because the losses are only realized when you pull it.
Oh, I see. So just leave it and have hope.
Yeah, go talk to a financial advisor. Yeah, I think it's going to go back up and then pull it and then put it somewhere else.
It's just very annoying.
I'm not a financial advisor, though. Go talk to somebody.
I have an appointment. I reached out. We're going to have a call to ask them listen, tell me what to do. Don't ask me what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I want to make money and I want to have money and I don't want to work till I'm 100. Okay. Those are the goals. What are your goals? To be alive and have a house, to feed my kids and afford eggs. That's it.
Literally.
So how do I do that?
If you get an egg on your breakfast sandwich, it might cost you $1.25 per egg.
That part. Anyway, being an adult is very annoying and stressful. And that has been the week.
Literally, I texted Kev yesterday. I said, I think I should get my iPhone today. He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, because I think the tariffs are going to impact iPhones. So, like, if I want to get a new iPhone, which I've been thinking about because mine, I don't know what's wrong with mine. Anyways, I feel like I should get a new one. I feel like I should do it today. He was like, I think you should relax. I'm like, I need you to get to my level of, like, anxiety.
Yes.
Because every single day, there's something going on. The lady, I started when Isaiah does stuff on set, I pay him a little bit of money and I don't want him to have access. Well, technically he can have access to whatever we want. He's 18, but I don't want him to have access to it now. So I'm not putting it into like a bank account. I'm trying to grow like a little Morgan Stanley, like a little mortgage account for him. It's not a whole heck of a lot of money in there, but just as we get money, instead of giving it to you, let's put it in there for your future. So the lady has the call with him today on like investing 101. Child. When I tell you his eyes
be looking like mine. What?
Glazed over. Because I took an econ class in high school and I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. That's why I feel like I overwhelm myself with information with the mortgage app that I have, listening to the NPR, like trying to get myself to have some sort of understanding. Yeah. But like, I don't have an understanding. I told the lady yesterday, I said, listen to me. I'm doing my very best.
Listen.
I'm doing my very best because I feel a responsibility to do my best for my family. But I don't know what I'm doing. Mm-mm. So it's a lot of pressure. So I really need you to like help me. Yes. Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Let me tell you what upsets me. Right? I hope I am doing a service on TikTok. I hope I am making things simplified, right? So I said yesterday, there's got to be a me for this.
100%.
So I went on TikTok and tried to find the I'm not a financial advisor, but version.
Yeah.
Then people are still confusing.
I
said, y'all don't know that y'all are deep. Y'all are too deep that you don't know. We don't know what you're talking about.
And sometimes they be conspiratorial. That's the other thing.
I did get into finance talk. Y'all know my algorithm is all. I get a little bit of everything, to be completely honest with you. I don't tell y'all everything, but I am in finance talk. The problem is some of them, they be conspiratorial. It be confusing. Like, right? I just learned. I thought, and I worked in banking, mind you. I thought, we can move off this, but I thought the Fed, when they decreased mortgage rates, it was just based on kind of like what the economy was. Apparently, it's very highly tied to like the 10-year bond, the 10-year government bond. I did not know this.
What is the 10-year government
bond? So apparently, it's
Let's start there.
I think it's money that you lend to the government. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is my understanding. But if one of y'all is for real, come correct this. But from my understanding, it's money that you can give to the government. I don't think it's regular people. I'm not quite sure who the who is. But you give money to the government for 10 years, and then they return it to you.
Okay.
So
like a loan.
It's an investment. The Federal Reserve highly ties what is going on with the bond to how they're going to do the Federal Reserve, which then impacts mortgage rates.
I'm out.
Ciao.
Sorry, I got lost.
Yes.
I was trying to connect this to something and I got lost.
Because I don't even know why they're connected. I just learned about this. I don't know why they're even connected. I'm just telling you, I had just learned this.
Who has enough money to loan money to the government?
That's why I'm saying I don't know who the who is.
Let's start back there, because we in debt to a lot of people. And all I know is that when you are in debt to regular people, they eventually come see about you. So if the government is in debt because who is loaning us money, at what point are they going to come see about us?
I think it's other countries. Okay, the U.S. government borrows money from selling securities such as treasury bonds, bills, and notes to the public. Oh, we can do that?
This sounds like IOUs.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like a Ponzi scheme. So what I'm going to do is borrow the money from you. Then I'm going to borrow and then I'm going to sell it to y'all in hopes you give it back to me. And that different, then I'm going to mark it up when I sell it to you. And then that difference is how I'm going to pay you back.
That's Ponzi. That's Ponzi.
And that sounds like the housing crisis of 2008.
You know what it also sounds like? It sounds like the government might need earning. That's what it sounds like.
For sure.
It sounds like, okay, that life doesn't happen to us or the government bi-weekly, so why should payday?
For real.
The money you can earn, okay, the money you earn can be in your hands today with Earnin. America, listen up now. Government, listen up now. Earnin is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $150 per day with a max of $750 between paydays. Just download the Earnin app and verify your paycheck, then access up to $150 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. So whether you are thinking about bonds, okay, and you need to have some extra cash, Earnin can be there for you, or you just need money for a special night out.
You need money for eggs, because that's what we need money for, okay?
You name it. In case you need the money, Earnin can do that. Last minute trip to the vet, upcoming rent, clothes, shoes, those kind of things. They got you. Make Earnin a part of your financial routine and join Earnin's over 4 million customers who say things like, when I think about Earnin, I think about financial stability and security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. Download Earnin today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earnin app, type in Gin and Juice Podcast under podcast. When you sign up, it'll really help our show. Gin and Juice Podcast under podcasts. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Cash outs are based on your available earnings. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Option to expedite your transfer for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. See the cash out user agreement for details. Services not available in all states.
Cam said, yes, this is a treasury bond. A lot of grandparents purchase them for their grandchildren. Oh, my eyes. And it doubles in value. It's supposed to be a long-term investment, not a quick ROI. What is so funny is I bought one of these for CJ when he was a baby.
Oh.
I don't even know where it is now that I think about it.
Maybe it's worth nothing.
Well, the government
After 20
it's
years.
supposed to be a very safe investment in. It's supposed to be.
Well,
a
so
very
is government
safe-
work.
That's true. It's supposed to be. All right, a very safe investment, and so you could buy like they had like different kinds. I remember it being like E or double E or something. It's been a long time, child. But you buy them and they fully mature after a certain period of time.
I can vaguely remember these
Yes,
things.
I have one for CJ that we never cashed out.
How do you find them?
I got an actual physical piece of paper.
Oh, well, you probably threw it away.
I'm hoping I
Knowing
didn't.
you. It's in the trash.
The thing is,
in a landfill somewhere.
This is the thing. All my life, I've wanted to be this very responsible person. But I didn't do it. What I was supposed to do is every year for CJ's birthday, buy another bond for him.
Yeah.
The same thing when I started the boys. I didn't have no business starting this, but I did it anyway. I started the boys' college funds when they were yay high, and I was putting like $5 in it, thinking I was doing something.
There you go. There you go.
But I started it.
That's what matters.
That's all that matters. I started it though. But in my mind, like I'm like, oh, this is the things that I want to be doing for the future generation. CJ has one bond,
Well,
and it is currently lost.
well,
I probably should cash it out and give it to him
you
low key.
should. He could buy eggs.
Actually, he's 18. It's probably I probably can't even cash it. He probably has to.
You have to find it first. Let's start at square one.
I really
gotta
have no idea where
find
this
it.
is. When I tell you, I actually have no idea where this is. Anyway, we're moving on. Anything else happened interesting this
No.
week outside of
Not for me.
the craziness? I want to say really quickly that before we move on, we're going to do Pop the Trunks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I went to this new lash lady to get lash extensions. And as I'm looking in the camera, you can't tell. And that's all I really wanted to say. There is literally...
Oh, you can't. You can't see it. In person, you can. I mean, in person, obviously.
But they look...
But that's what you wanted, natural.
Yeah, I did, but I think it got a little too...
Oh, you need a little flair?
I think if even though she's a cheaper person, I think that if I'm going to pay you, that it should be a little bit more than natural.
I don't disagree.
So I think the next time I might ask her for a little bit more va-va-voom, little length, little something, child, because there's no reason. It looks like I have nothing, not even a mascara on my eyes right now.
In the front. I think towards the ends, I can see it. But in the front, it does. No. Look straight. Right? What's happening?
Because I'm trying to see what you're seeing.
They're like cat-eyed a little bit.
They are cat-eyed.
So
oh,
that's
you're
what I'm
saying on
saying.
this over here.
Towards the end, you see the like cat eye, but like in the front, you cannot tell.
All right, we're moving on.
In the camera, in person, you can.
Okay. The reason I'm turning to the side is because you can see the lash better when I turn to the side than when I'm straight on.
Yeah.
See how you can see?
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
was turning. Okay, moving on. We're going to do Pop the Trunks. We are going to do 2 full-on Pop the Trunk episodes next week Friday. Next week Friday. And so if you want to send your Pop the Trunks, you can send them to... I'll tell you right now, it'll be in the description box, whether you're listening to this on like Apple Podcasts or whatever, it'll be in the description box. But also if you're watching on YouTube, it'll also be in there as well. And I can't find it.
I can watch Cat beat both of us to it, but I can do it.
Are you going on YouTube?
No, I have it's Speak Pipe.
That's it.
It's www.speakpipe.com/GJ.
Fabulous. So yes, please go there and send them because we are going to, be listening to those and reacting to them. So please make sure you send them. We're congratulating. I'm sorry to the people, but we obviously do this live with our Patreon. And there are a lot of congratulations to
Danae Peterson.
Danae, okay.
I think because it's N-A-E.
Shadow looks like E-E. I can't see.
Praise. I finished my thesis and submitted with no revisions. Defense, here we come.
Congratulations. That's huge.
It's massive. Very dope.
Yeah, really, really cool. Congratulations to you. I think that is amazing. And all the congratulations that's going on in the chat are well deserved.
Amen.
All right.
You remember your senior thesis in college? You had to submit?
I didn't have a senior thesis.
You didn't have to submit a
Uh-uh.
What? We had the same major. Why you didn't have to do that?
I feel like different schools have different programs.
Amen.
And different requirements. Because I don't remember having to do that. I mean, it's also been a long time, but I don't remember having to do that at all. What was yours? Oh, I think I remember yours.
You probably do.
You don't want to say it. I don't know if you should, actually, because it might bring up some.
Yeah. I did my thesis and I had a ton of revisions. In fact, they said, we don't think you should cover this topic. That's what they told me. Told me you might want to change this. And I was like, no. How can I tweak it to make it work? I got probably a C.
On it?
Yeah. I didn't care. Am I passing?
Listen,
Get me out of here.
That's
Spelman College. Meanwhile, my bestie, my best friend, hers was so good. They were like, we recommend you submit this for papers. Like, this should be published. Tiara.
Seriously?
Yes. I was
What
like,
was hers on? I feel like
Emma.
this is also familiar. What was hers? Do you remember what hers was on? Is it shareable?
She was actually talking about, I want to say like the Latin community in North Carolina and like the growth population of it, like how many people were actually like migrating there, I guess. I don't remember like the actual point.
Yeah.
I just remember that being like the context of it because I was like, there's a big Latin community in North
that is
Carolina,
interesting.
in Durham?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah. So anyway, and they passed that paper around. They gave her all the
Hilarious.
stars, gold
Hilarious.
stars. Literally, they were, I don't remember if it was actually published, but they were like, you should have this published, like it's really good. And meanwhile, they were like, you need to change your topic.
And you didn't change it?
No, I tweaked it. It was like, I think, I was making a statement and
Mel was going through therapy by way of the thesis.
I used
statement.
the thesis to be therapeutic and they were like, we can tell. They were like, this feels like a personal problem that you are trying to work out and make a paper.
Yeah.
And we don't want to know your personal business. And I was like, but other people are probably going through this. They were like, no. So I forgot how I changed it. I got to see. It doesn't matter. I changed it in a way that they would stop talking to me. And then they just gave me a C.
They said, so she's not going to do something different? She's going to stick with
I had to
this?
have meetings with like, the chair of the department, or whoever it is of the like department or whatever.
Department heads?
Yeah. And then they had a whole like committee meeting to like talk about my paper. I was like, I don't know
Wait,
why y'all
they
are
were
tripping.
so serious. They really wanted you.
Yes. They were like, this is
Why?
not.
How did you not succumb to peer pressure? How did you not take their advice and be like, you know what, let me.
I was a senior. It was probably February. Graduation was in May. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. This is the paper. And you had to like go do the actual research. So I had conducted interviews. I like found people, drove all over Georgia to go interview people to basically side with me on what I was trying to say. And they were like, no. I was like, but the interview girl said it. It told you there's more than just me. They were like, please. It sounds like a personal thing you're trying to do. And I was.
The topic was very personal and should have gone to therapy.
This is because I've been who I am for a very long time. I'm pretty consistent.
Yeah, I absolutely remember this. And this is Micaiah as well.
Anyway. I don't know how that turned into. Oh, because we were congratulations. But congratulations
Shout out
to you.
to Danae.
That you're not trying to do therapy in your paper. So amen to that.
Yeah, no revisions. I didn't have. Listen, UW didn't have time for this. Okay, we did. Somebody said you did finals and that's it. That's all.
What?
We had Al Black. He was our AFRAM teacher. A professor, and we had to do, well, not just him, but I specifically remember
Who is Al Black?
Al Black. He was our professor at UW.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys have listened to me and Kev ever, I may have said this at some point in the Love Hour, but he would be like, oh, you're from Ohio? You probably know my friend Kara. She's from there too. And he He did that to Kev so many times. It's like, oh, you're from North Carolina, or oh, you're from Texas. My friend's from there. Do you know so and so?
No.
Yes, and we would be like,
The state?
no, like I don't know them. But he was like he was like the AFRAM teacher. If you were taking African American studies, you took an all black class. And he made sure that his book was part of the curriculum.
Hello, you better. I'm not mad at it.
And
make the people buy your book.
He had this saying. It was like, we had 300 years. What did he used to say? Of inequality access to the labor market. Something, I can't remember how he used to say, but it was like this phrase that was like quintessential to being in our blast class that we all knew. I cannot remember what it was. I might ask Kev. Anyway, but he would have us write like 20-page papers, but that was the extent. But he was the hardest too, because he would do stuff like that. Like, read my book and pay for that, because that's my book for this class. And then I want you to write a 20-page paper on it.
Well, sounds like if I was a professor, I would write a book just to make it a part of the curriculum so that I could benefit off of that. I would absolutely make money. Yeah, this is the book. It's in the bookstore. Absolutely.
Oh, that's exactly. And
please purchase it. You don't have to purchase no other books. Read those online. Mine, ain't no copies. Go buy the book.
And dang, I don't remember what that means to say. Anyway, his point was, because someone trying to figure out what he used to say, his point was that Black people were behind. We didn't have equal access to the labor market, meaning we couldn't work. Yeah. We were free slave labor. And so all we're doing is catching up.
Yeah, got it.
And so it was like a point he would like beat in our heads.
Yeah.
No matter, it didn't matter what AFRAM class. It did not matter what African American Studies class you took with him. He managed to throw that on in there. Not that it's not true.
Yeah.
But he made sure we knew that. And I'm mad that I can't think of what it was all these years later, man. Because some of that stuff, in the moment, you don't think you're going to forget. And then
it's gone.
And then you're 41 and you're like, dang, what did he used to say?
You ain't thinking about that. No more. Oh, we're listening to Pop the Trunk.
Yeah, we could do it.
I forgot.
Hi, Melissa and Mel. I wanted to pop the trunk along with Melissa after listening to her DMV story because my maiden name recently also came back to haunt me. My husband and I booked a trip out of the country, and somehow my maiden name got put on the ticket because of some saved passenger information. And when we got to the airport is when we realized, and it was like we had to move heaven and earth in order to get the name changed. I only had a picture of my marriage certificate. I didn't have a copy of it, and so they said that was the only way that they could change it. But the flight was booked through a third party, but JetBlue was the ones responsible for the flight, but it was through Qatar. So Qatar was like, call third party's like, talk to JetBlue. Like, they're just sending us around in circles. And at some point we went to the JetBlue terminal, different from the one we were at, just to ask JetBlue, and they're like, oh no, we can't do it, you need to call the third party site. So we get back to Qatar, they still aren't trying to help us. The third party site says no, talk to JetBlue. I finally get through to JetBlue after an hour and a half waiting, and then they literally, as I'm texting them through the chat, they are able to change the name, no questions asked. But by that time, the flight had closed. Like, they weren't allowing anybody else through to board. So I was so mad. We missed our flight, and we had to wait 2 days to get another one. So I'm popping the trunk on having to change your name at all. Because why is this a thing, and why is it so hard when you just type something in to change it once you have done that? It's insane.
I agree fully. The process to change your name in general.
It's so a lot.
Oh my gosh. It's so much work that, like, traditionally in America, women have to do. Like, the men are not traditionally in America changing their names. And so you have to go get passports and driver's license,
social security
cards,
all of your bills.
It's everything. It's like, oh my gosh, what an annoying thing that we do here.
And for it to be as common as it is, right? Like, women change their names after they get married. This is a very common practice in the United States of America. And for it, to be as difficult as it is, and for people to pretend like, oh, I don't know what this is. This says this, and this says this, and that says that. I don't know what's going on. Sir,
Girl,
Ma'am, I just got married.
you know what's happening
You
here.
literally, this is not difficult to figure out,
No.
people. Come on now. I just got married. This was my previous name. This is my current name. Let's use some logic. Let's use some common sense. Come on, people.
Yeah.
It becomes such a to-do
Yes.
and the burden of the woman to bear.
Yeah.
When I went to, let me tell you something. This is another thing that I found out, Mama and Daddy, because I know y'all been watching this.
Our parents?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you know that my last name is
yeah.
actually Mom's maiden name?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
never changed my name to Marshall.
Yes. So when you went, that's because you was at a
At a wedlock baby.
Mm-hmm. I was born in the wed of the lock. You was born outside
I was
of the
certainly
lock.
born outside of the lock of the wedding. Okay? And sure enough, I did not know this until I went to college. And I had to provide, I don't even know what I had to provide, child, some or the other. And it was like, actually, your last name is not Marshall. I'm sorry. This is certainly news to me. And then Mama and Daddy, because y'all be watching, go to ask them. And they're like, I don't even remember we did that.
Yeah, but so listen, that makes me believe it's just a thing you could do. So I just
Apparently, I have to go through all these hoops to change my name in real time. Meanwhile, one day my parents just decided, not Bradshaw, you're now Marshall. And every documentation after that said Marshall.
I feel like I can do that. Like I'm going to I want Micaiah's birthday to be on the 11th, not the 10th. So if I just start writing that it happened, that she was
Absolutely.
born on who's gonna check me? I'm her mom.
I just realized the other day that I think I've been writing my social security number wrong.
What?
Yes.
Girl.
Literally, I swapped 2 numbers.
And the police haven't came for you?
Girl, neither has
Commit a
IRS.
crime and see if they figure it out.
It's got to be some form of identity. If I put Melissa Bradshaw with the different social security number, they're going to be like, who? We don't know who. We don't know who is who. I'm pretty confident that I've been writing it down. You know, once you memorize it, when's the last time you looked at your social security card? Once you have it memorized, you have it memorized. The problem is y'all know me. Once I have lyrics stuck in my head from a young age, I'm not going back and looking at the lyrics.
Yeah,
These are
yeah.
the lyrics moving forward. I don't have time for this. I memorized my social security number who knows when. And that's just been it because I memorized it. Apparently memorized it wrong.
That is so funny.
I'm not changing it though.
Don't.
Because now everything has what, if I've told you this is what it is, at this point, it's he say, she say, okay?
Exactly.
It's Social Security Office versus me.
Exactly. And what do they know? I'm the actual person. You can't tell me. Y'all documents are wrong. You're bad.
So it is embedded in my head with 2 numbers, flip-flop. I don't remember why I was looking at my Social Security card, I mean, very recently. And I was like, huh. That's not what I've been saying for all 41 years of my life. It's not what I thought the number was.
Makai's birthday is the 11th of November, by the way. Just so we're clear. Don't be in my comments this year on the 11th, 11/11, when I'm like, oh, my Make-A-Wish baby. Oh my God. Would I do that this year? Don't be in my comments. I'm going to block you. Okay. That's my business. Happy birthday to her, 11/11. Let's go. I am doing it. Who's going to stop me? She's 3. She don't even know. If I start now, she's never going to know.
I'll go with it. It's easier for me to remember. I'll be like 9, 10, 11. If it's 11/11, that's
It's so
way
easy.
easy.
We're in there. 11/11. I don't care.
And that's my
She
birthday too,
hasn't-
7/11,
Exactly.
11/11.
She hasn't
Change it.
started like elementary yet. So there's no, she got daycare papers. She don't have like real school papers yet.
No, change it.
So now's the time. Here we go. Mind your business. Happening. Oh, we got another pop the truck.
Hi, Mel and Liz. Love the show. So I wanted to just pop the trunk on this current job market because it is really ghetto out here trying to find a job or get a new one. It's ridiculous. So tell me why. I have a master's degree in clinical sociology, right? So explain to me why I got offered a position at a university. And when I looked at the job offer, these heifers was trying to pay me $20 an hour for a job that requires a minimum of a master's degree.
Wow.
I
That's how it be.
don't understand. I have over a decade of experience, and you trying to pay me $20 an hour. If you don't get out my face,
Amen.
it is looking real sugar daddy-ish out here. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I'm married, but this job market is ghetto. And so I gotta pop the trunk on that. It's dumb.
She could have left that.
She had to say, because maybe her husband's with it. Because listen, between the two of us, we don't need a 2-income household. We need 3.
Hey, hello.
Find yourself a sugar daddy.
Listen.
Okay, we bring in something extra up in this house. I'm not mad.
We went to dinner the other day, and the table next to us was an older guy.
You want me to say who it was?
I'm talking about the other table.
Oh.
You talking about the table on the other side.
Okay.
Was an older gentleman with a younger woman. Actually, it was like three of them.
Yes.
But the one main girl was clearly the sugar baby. She had, mind you, it was on the beach, okay? The restaurant is on the water. So it's cold. She had, her boobs were
out.
massive. She
Out.
had this very little,
Too little.
just enough to cover the nipple.
Under boob, but
thing.
it wasn't even under boob. It was the full
Like boob
Boob.
out. And this
like crochet.
crochet skirt situation. Her whole belly like is out, right? It's just like nipples are covered in like strings, and then like a little skirt crochet situation. And I mean,
And you could see the
Oh,
dress was
yes.
like white, but she had like a lime green thong on or
Yes.
something. It was like
you could see the
very
whole thing.
visible.
Yeah. And at one point, they went to the girls went to the restroom, and I mean, just came back. Hey, babe, we're back. Gave him a little hug. I said, "Oh, this is the life.
This
huh?
is exactly
This
what
is
it is.
the life.
Exactly what you think it is. That's what this is.
This is the economy to do it in, girl. Get your money." And he was just sitting there, his old self sitting there with these 3 young women. Just, yeah, all right. They just, he just
Had a
sitting
time.
there. We were all like, y'all see them over there? You know, oh my God, you see the woman? Look at her food. Just
Yeah.
staring. But I mean, do what you got to do, okay? No, what do they say? No judgment, no.
We listen and we don't judge.
We listen, we don't judge, amen.
We judge a little bit because it was 3 young ladies.
It was 3.
It was 3 young
She was
ladies.
the clear boo,
She
though,
was the
baby.
one.
She was the sugar
Yeah,
baby.
she was the clear one. Maybe she just had her fins there, and she was like, "Yeah, he'll pay for everything," because it was
I
Nobu,
know.
which it can get very expensive very
That
quickly over
is
Nobu for
pizza.
a piece of grass and some pieces of rice.
That be
Okay.
expensive.
But they had a time over there, sitting over there in the little
And
little
did.
cove.
And did.
To the left of us,
Yes.
well, I was on this side, so actually he was my left. But the other table that I thought Mel was talking about was Paul Reiser.
Yes.
He was there for his
From-
birthday from Mad About You.
Yes, the show Mad About You, which Melissa loves and used to love and be obsessed with.
No, I really wanted to. I wanted to on some I just want to let you know, Paul Reiser, if you're watching this, if this ever gets back to you,
Hello.
I want to let you know that we were the table, the black folk table, right next to your table, quite literally, when you were at Nobu on your birthday.
On your birthday.
Which is like March 30th.
It was.
Okay.
Because Melissa looked it up.
I sure did, because I was like, you guys, I think that's Paul Reiser. And he's older. So anyway, full white head of hair, but
Oh my gosh.
still looks like himself,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think that's him. So we looked it up. He's absolutely there for his birthday. Anyway, Paul Reiser, if this ever should get back to you, this is what I wanted to say, but I decided against it because I realized it was your actual birthday and you were with your family and I didn't want to be that person. But what I wanted to say is you had such a profound impact on a little black girl who was
Listen.
10 years old.
Yes.
Watching Mad About You about these 2, they were young actually, this young white couple learning to love each other and learning what it means to be in love and be adult and have a marriage and then have infertility issues, and then you end up introducing this little girl into the picture, and I was just enamored with the idea of this show. And I actually think in real life, it is what started a very subconscious love and relationships was quite literally this show. So I just want to let you know that Mr. Paul Reiser, you had a profound impact on the little black girl that grew up to be Miss Kev on Stage,
Listen.
that hosted a show called The Love Hour.
Yes.
And another, we were working on Disregard.
Amen.
Yeah. So
We loved
should
it.
this ever get back to you, I definitely want to make sure that you know that you were appreciated. Yeah, because Helen Hunt. Now, listen, I love me some Helen Hunt too, but we don't talk about Paul that much. I feel
No.
like Helen went on to do other things in her career, and Paul was like, "All right,
I did it.
I'm done with y'all.
About
I'm done
my
with Hollywood. I'm just out here trying to live another life, a regular life." And so, anyway, yeah,
We love it.
yeah. Last one.
Last one. Oh. Ad.
Okay, go for it.
Girl, we are way in. And they
Oh,
did the
they said
second
Paul's
one.
on Stranger Things.
Girl, we should have did it at 15 minutes ago.
Okay, I didn't even watch Stranger Things, even though I know it was like wildly popular.
We talk a lot about our health on this show, from working out to menopause to everything, child. And so when was the last time you needed to go to a doctor, but you pushed it off, made the excuse that you're too busy, can't find your insurance card, whatever it was? I think we've all been there. Booking a doctor appointment can just feel so daunting. It absolutely can. But thanks to ZocDoc, there's no reason to delay. They make it so easy to find and book a doctor who's right for you.
I use ZocDoc, of course, to find my OBGYN, to go over my symptoms that I was having with perimenopause. I had the appointment, by the way, and all that was well, and I have to actually do a follow-up. But anyway, the point is, when my regular doctor actually was booked and busy, and I was like, my life is in turmoil. I got to understand what's happening. I need to get in with somebody. I need somebody right now. That ZocDoc, I was able to put in my location, where I'm at, what I'm looking for. It presented a bunch of options and availability, and I said, I want that one because she available first and soon, okay? And she wasn't terribly far from my house, but it allowed me to get in the time frame that I wanted, because you guys know one thing about a doctor, they are booked and busy.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, one thing about these doctors, they are booked and busy.
Yes.
You will call to make an appointment. They'll be like, we can get you in July.
Yes.
Girl, I need to see the doctor tomorrow.
Yes.
And so being able to have access to essentially a catalog of all of these doctors with availability that are in your surrounding area definitely helps.
For sure. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments. That's important, amen? Because we
Yes.
know the difference between in and out of network. With more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. Appointments made through ZocDoc also happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score some same-day appointments. When's the last time you did that? Okay. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/GJ
GJ.
to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/GJ, ZocDoc.com/GJ. That is a tongue twister.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But I hope y'all got it. I spelled it out. So ZocDoc.com/GJ.
Hey, mixers, booze, co-counsel. I want to pop the trunk on this job that think I care about them when I'm on vacation. I do not. When I signed this contract that said I will work for y'all, y'all said you get this much sick time, this much vacation. About using it. I'm really bad about using it. So this year, my baby is a junior/senior in high school. She graduating in December instead of next May. So what do? Take my little vacation time on spring break to go and have her look at colleges across the country, because me as a mama, I want to make sure that you like the vibes. You know, these kids be going off vibes. You like the vibes of the school, so that way you don't get there and a month in talk about you want to come home. I paid this admission fee and I'm paying this tuition. You going to stay there, you could transfer next year. Anywho, why my GM going to come over here talking about, oh, you miss so-and-so meetings, all jokey, and I don't like that. And I was 2 seconds away from saying, sir, part of my compensation is paid time off. I can swear, because I'm nosy, that last week when you was off and your out of office was on, you didn't respond to no email, so I'm not responding to no email. So have a good day, sir. Anyway, love y'all. Bye.
Take your time off.
Amen.
I think the millennials were deemed the generation of burnout. We do not take our PTO. We do not take our leave. We clock in early and stay late. We take our work home. We do all of these things for that job. And then they will lay us off. Ask some of these folks about it currently right now being laid off. I was laid off. While you talking, I forgot. I was
You
100.
shut
I was
your whole company
The
down.
whole company is shut down. Moved to Ohio. I drive past that street every now and again and be like, it's really not there no more. That's really crazy to me. Fully laid off. They do not care about you. Matter of fact, at that last job that I was laid off, there was one of them jobs that would guilt trip you about your PTO. Like they would rather pay you out, like you would hit a certain amount in the bank, your PTO bank, and you couldn't accrue any more PTO, so they would have to pay you out or you would have to take time off. Anyways, a lot of people that happened to because they wouldn't take their PTO. All of that to say, take your doggone PTO.
Oh, my.
And let them people forget your name and your phone number and your email address.
Amen. Amen. I used to, at Netflix, right, they love to be like, you have unlimited PTO, which is a scam because you just never take it. Okay? I took less PTO at the job where I had unlimited than when I had the limited, okay? Because I would, 25 days, I'm taking all 25. When it's unlimited, you'd be like, oh, it's okay. And actually, the scam, a part of the scam was you can take your PTO, but if you're not going to be on email, you need to set up who's covering for, like it was completely your responsibility to set up whoever is covering for you. And the amount of work, because you have so much work, the amount of work it takes to catch someone up to speed so that they can cover for you for 5 days is not even worth it. So you usually just be like, I'll just answer email.
yeah.
Like I remember so many times I would be like, it ain't even worth it.
Yeah.
But it is not, it's not like they're reporting, telling your manager if people didn't know, like you were the face. If that's your shows, if that's you're the person, you're the person.
Yeah.
So deal with it. Oh my gosh, it was the worst. So yes, girl, take your PTO.
Take your
F these
PTO. We are huge actually within our own company to encourage our employees take that PTO. We also be gone a lot, and so when we're gone, they just you get to do whatever you want. But also, if you want to go home to go visit your family, if you want to go to a wedding, if you want to go to wherever you want to go, take that doggone PTO and have that work-life balance. And I'm encouraging all of y'all take that doggone PTO.
Do this one now.
Go for it.
This episode of Gin and Juice is brought to you by Alloy Women's Health. We've talked about this company before, and I guess we're just talking about all the health today. Aging can be, let's put it plainly, crappy. Problems sleeping, hot flashes, brain fog, weight gain, and decreased libido can hit us pretty hard. Menopause is inevitable. We've talked about it a ton on this show. Melissa has, but it's also treatable. I just found out that almost half of women went 3+ years before seeking relief from menopause or perimenopausal symptoms. Why would we do that to ourselves? That's because 43% of women reported that their doctors just never even mention menopause hormone therapy as an option for treatment. Another 40% didn't know where to go for a solution. That's where Alloy can come in, okay? Complete your intake. Alloy solutions are available by prescription, so you'll need to complete a short medical questionnaire and patient verification. Design your treatment plan with a physician. You'll be able to work with a menopause-trained physician to finalize a personalized treatment plan tailored to your specific needs and get your 3-month supply. Once it's approved, Alloy ships your prescription directly to your door with automatic refills. You want to talk a little bit about your Alloy experience?
Yes, I want to talk about how I am so excited for them to send me the product,
Yes.
so that I can actually use it and mitigate some of my perimenopause symptoms. These are the targeted concerns that I'm looking for. Number one, night sweats. I don't get hot flashes. You guys know this. I don't get the night flashes, but I definitely get the night sweats, and I definitely get the lack of sleep. the insomnia, the waking up at 3 a.m., all of these things definitely affect me. So once they send me this product, Chad, I will come back with a full review for y'all.
Did you do the questionnaire?
I did the questionnaire. I told them, yes, it was very simple, very easy. You put in your symptoms, answer a few questions. That's it. That's all.
All right. So we cannot recommend Alloy enough. Join the 95% of women who tried Alloy and saw relief in the first 2 weeks. Head to myalloy.com/GJ and tell them all about your symptoms, and you'll get $20 off of your first order today. Head to myalloy, that's myalloy.com/GJ and enter code GJ to get $20 off of your first order. Thank you, Alloy, for sponsoring this episode.
Okay, is that the last one?
That's the last one.
Okay. Also, Oprah Winfrey just came out with a menopause special, and I will be watching that. If not today, I have some stuff I have to do today, but sometime soon is my goal to watch that. And Dying for Sex.
Oh, yeah.
The podcast that if you're an OG Love Hour listener, you remember when I accidentally stumbled upon, I think someone actually recommended this to me. If I'm not mistaken, I think a supporter actually was like, Melissa, I think you would love this. And I ended up listening to this podcast that was recorded in real time. I don't remember the lady's name. I'm not going to remember the lady's name, but the woman was doing interviews of her best friend who was dying of terminal cancer. And she was explaining her story, how once she was diagnosed with terminal cancer, she divorced her husband. She was very churchy, grew up very religious, and decided to explore her sexual prowess before she passed. And when I tell you I listened to this thing and did not realize that the woman was literally dying. I know it's called Dying for Sex, but when you're it just wasn't. And then one of the episodes, because it was literally done as the woman was as she was doing these things. And, they were like, we haven't been doing this for the last few weeks because she's in chemo, she's been really sick and she's been really, really weak. And child, this light bulb went off. So I said, now wait.
She really got cancer.
She really got cancer. Is dying right now. Oh. She is dying. So I went off on this huge tangent to, of course, Googling this lady, trying to figure out what happened or whatever. Anyway, it ended up being this really beautiful way for this woman to honor her friend. And then they've turned this into this Hulu miniseries. And if you know Emily Nagoski, I actually think I pronounced her last name wrong, but she was also on the podcast. She is the author of Come As You Are, a book on sexual pleasure for women. Fantastic book. It's pretty scientific, but really a fantastic book. Anyway, also had her on the podcast. She posted today about it and was like, oh my God, this is so good. I'm super excited. They used some term and she was like, I was so happy to see this, shown on TV or whatever. But it reminded me that it actually drops today. All of that to say.
The Hulu thing drops today?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
4/4. So all of that to say, if you're interested in watching it, you definitely should. I think I'm going to cry because I cried when I listened to the podcast, but it's such a beautiful way to honor this woman's story. Yeah. So anyway, yes, Molly and Nikki Boyer. Thank you. Molly was the friend. I'm happy you said that because in my mind, I was going to say Michelle. I was I feel like it started with the M, but it was Michelle that was going to come out. Molly is the friend that had the cancer, and Nikki Boyer is the interviewer who went on to do the podcast. And I actually think she has a role. She has to have a role in the show that they're doing as well.
Nice.
All right, moving on. We're going to talk about
the show it's Netflix's Traders is how I keep calling it, but the actual name is $1 Million Secret on Netflix that I mentioned last week and have been telling everybody I come in contact with to watch it because it is a time. Watching this show because it is Netflix's Traders, the problem is sometimes, not always, sometimes when you get to watch somebody do something first, when you copy it, you get to make it better. This show is better.
Everything they added to make it different than Traders were necessary additions.
100%.
So good.
All of the So there's a group of people, we kind of explained this last week, but there's a group of people, right? They're all in like a castle. And one of the people in this group has a box with $1 million. Everybody else, the whole goal is to figure out who has the $1 million, okay? And get them out. And hopefully you can eventually have the $1 million at the end of the game. That's the premise. But what they do with giving the powers to the people who have the millionaires, it's so good.
It's so good.
Giving them extra votes.
Yes.
Giving them kill shots.
Yes.
Giving them, like, I love it.
And if you don't complete, they give you like, they call it an agenda.
Yes.
So they give them like, you have the missions, of
Yes.
course, but then you have like a secret agenda that
Yes.
you have to complete that the rest of the players can't know. And if you don't complete the agenda, you also, there's a consequence.
Yes.
It's not like just don't do it.
Yes.
There is an actual consequence. And that also makes it really interesting.
Absolutely. And so, anyway, let's just go ahead and start now that you caught up, because I talked a little bit about Lauren, the first millionaire on the show. We talked a little bit about her last week. The fact that she was the first millionaire. She hated it. She didn't want to do it.
She was doing so.
She was doing well.
She was doing too much.
Oh.
After she got rid of the case,
Yes.
I felt like she had more power than she
Yeah,
had,
yeah.
and that's why they played her.
Yeah.
She should have come in a little bit more humble.
Oh.
I felt like her energy came in very much like, it was so hard. But I got so much power and y'all can't let go of me because I know what's going on.
Oh.
And I dare you to let go of me because I know the stuff. And I'm going to share this little bit,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
also going to keep this because I know what's going on. I feel like her strategy should have maybe been the same, but fake like you gave everybody everything.
Oh, that would have been a good
Because
idea.
the reason she got out, because they were like, oh, you know stuff we don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes you a dangerous player. That makes you have insight that we don't have. And you got to go.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
at the end of the game, it's winner takes all.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's not a group activity. You know something I don't know. You have to go. And guess what? Immediately,
They got that girl out
you
so
got,
quick.
I was like, girl, what did you expect?
But
She was
did
like,
she-
I don't want to share that.
But did you feel like Jamie was hard on her, the black girl?
She was.
I felt like that was harsh.
I felt like we missed something though.
Yeah, it was because it felt so like,
Yeah.
why are you coming so hard at her?
Yeah, it did feel. I was like, there must be a scene. Something is missing.
Yes.
Because it felt like a jump.
I don't like that. Okay, after Lauren goes home, the next millionaire is Phil, the black guy. And Phil,
It's so likable.
he is so likable.
so
And
likable.
actually, he didn't even do his first agenda.
No, he didn't. And that was the only time I did see a consequence.
And I was like, this is a good strategy.
Yeah.
Because why risk it? And
Yeah.
now everybody is on to these agendas, and we have a little more insight as to like what they look like.
Yeah.
So,
but also, who's the host name? What's his name? Corey? No.
oh, I don't know. This
Anyway, I felt like he did him dirty with the clue.
well, but it's Peter.
Peter.
The more with the scream thing, I don't know, because I mean those clues are. I mean, okay.
I felt like they did because it was so obvious.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, maybe it was because the way he went about it was obvious, but by the time he gave the clue, you knew what he did.
Yeah.
So then to be like, it's a horror movie. First of all, the ding dong was like, I don't know the horror movies. Sir.
He was so terrible. He was
Sir.
so when they all were like scream, he was like, what else could it be?
Sir.
Is there other horror?
I just felt like they outed him and he was already
yeah,
kind
but
of
he
struggling.
shouldn't have did it like that though.
I actually
He
thought it
literally
was
did
genius.
it on the balcony and did it so loud
I
to
thought it
where
was so
everybody inside
genius.
was like, what?
But the thing is,
They immediately were like, that's a task. That's a challenge.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
an agenda.
I
They
actually really
immediately-
enjoyed. I thought it was good. That is true. They were by this time they're catching on to
Yes.
like what the agendas are, but I didn't think it was necessarily a bad idea because without the clue,
It's fine.
yeah, with the more obscure clue, I don't know. I felt like he could have gave.
Because even when they did that, the people on the inside literally said, that's the agenda. So even if you got a more obscure clue, the fact that they keyed in, they're going to be looking for ways for it to connect.
Match, yeah.
Because that was so
He still sold him out.
random.
Though. I felt like he sold him out though. I mean, you're not making a bad point.
Yeah.
They probably would have got there regardless.
Yeah.
But I felt like he sold him because the other clue. This is the other thing. What's his name? Let me tell you who is actually the agent of chaos in this show.
Chris?
Corey.
Corey as an agent of chaos.
Because, sir, first of all, I thought he did his agenda very well, too.
Oh, his last one of the.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so smart.
I thought it
So
was so
smart.
good. And how did you know they would immediately repeat it back?
Yes.
That was so
Brilliant.
great. What was it? Handcuff,
Handcuffs,
911, police.
misdemeanor,
There
and
you go.
911. Yes.
And so to say it, he was like, and the last thing was these three
Yes.
things. And they were like, handcuff, 911, ding, ding, ding,
Yes.
ding, ding. I was like, that was
So
brilliant. The problem is he sent these people into a tizzy on, what's his name?
on
Chris?
Sam and Chris.
On Sam and Chris.
Well, and it's-
but they're not wrong, though.
But what's so funny is they are wrong because they're wrong, right?
Yes.
They're wrong only because that wasn't it wasn't actually a clue.
Exactly.
All he had to do, Corey is the he, is have them say those words. He very
Framed it.
smartly framed it as a clue in order to accomplish his agenda, which
Right.
he did, but it sends everybody down a spiral and he's not even correcting it.
No.
At the end of the
And he can't.
episode, he like,
He can't correct it now. He has to commit to it.
He has
because
to.
if he corrects it, they're going to be looking at him funny, and now you're out.
and what's so funny is he's actually right.
I know.
He doesn't know
that-
that it's not a clue, but it is a clue.
Yeah.
He made it a clue. It's actually a good idea that he made
Yeah.
it a clue because it is a clue because Sam was the millionaire.
The problem, though,
Oh,
is,
my gosh.
but now it's going to shift to somebody else.
Yes.
And what if now that clue is not? It was never a clue.
Yeah.
But what if now this becomes this,
Yeah.
tangent that people are down and it's not applicable
Yeah.
because he threw it in there and has nothing to do with the person that has the millionaire?
and he ain't correcting it.
Well, I guess technically, though, the game starts over.
Yes.
So
Yes.
actually, it all goes.
It all goes. They're
Well,
starting
then
all over.
Corey, don't say nothing.
Now, how do you feel about Sam? She is not a police officer. I mean, she is a police officer, but she's telling everybody she's a mom, a stay-at-home mom. I like her. I'm
I
not
like her
going to
too.
lie. I think she's smart. I love that she's a police officer. I think she's very strategic. I
She
like
was the
her.
best millionaire.
I enjoy her.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed Lydia, the grandmother who is a poker player.
I'm so sad she's
Oh
gone.
my, she was so smart and literally had a poker face. I
Yeah.
was mad. I got why Sam got her out, but I was like, keep her around.
Yeah. I really enjoyed her. I'm gonna tell you who I am happy is out too, though. Chris.
Oh my God. Why is this boy in love? After 2 days, he's like, I love that girl. He grabbed her hand when she was at the hotspot at the table. He like grabbed her hand and we had just worked it out in our relationship. Boy,
I couldn't stand him. I'm so happy he's gone. Oh my God, I'm so happy he's gone.
I am annoyed by him, but I am happy he's gone too.
I'm not gonna lie though. Grandma, what's her name?
Lydia.
Lydia's plan to get out
Yes.
Sydney
Yeah.
instead of
Yes.
Phil.
I agree. I thought it was great. And I love that he tapped in.
Brilliant. Man,
He
Phil
was at that
tapped in
table
so far.
like, psh,
So
wow.
listen, you guys, this is all I have to say. You guys know it's me. I've said it's me. But what does that get you?
exactly. Do you really
Nothing.
need to get the millionaire out?
Do you really need to? Remember, it's last man standing. So getting me out does what for you? Actually, nothing.
I'm not even a good liar. You know who is a good liar?
Sydney, though.
Sydney.
Think about it. Think
Yes.
about it. I thought they were going to vote her out.
The problem is Chris. Chris is over there like, no,
Yeah.
I know who the millionaire is and I want the millionaire out. Shut up.
Because
Shut
it really,
up.
the interesting thing about this is getting the millionaire out in reality doesn't get you
Yes.
closer to being the millionaire.
No.
I guess really it does, but really it doesn't.
No. Once you understand that, what's interesting, here's what's interesting. And when you see the preview for the next episodes, what you see is that these first 2 batches have been about nobody wanting the $1 million because it's too early. But what becomes clear is that this next batch of episodes, everybody now wants the $1 million.
Because you're getting closer to the end.
Yes. And so at the beginning, it is a good strategy not to get out the millionaires because who cares? At the beginning, it's better to get out the good liars.
Yes.
We need to get out the good people so that when we get to the end, we can quickly get the millionaire out and hopefully it gets in my box. So it's watching this unfold and like what actually is useful and what is not. amazing.
Yeah. The only
Amazing.
thing that I didn't, or that I'm going to wait for this next batch, but one of the things that I noticed immediately on this that's different than Traders, people immediately pick up who the millionaire is.
I know.
That's disappointing to me personally, but I don't know what happens with these people being the millionaire that's not happening in Traders.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly, is that what it is?
I feel like as soon as they get the million, they just
In their head.
and they stop talking, and everyone's like, "Why are you being so quiet?"
I wonder.
Is it? Go ahead, because we might say the same thing.
They're individual. In Traders, there's more than
Oh,
one, and
that's
it's
true.
a team. So is it? You know what I'm saying? Like you can. I would probably have more confidence knowing that like we're in this together. We're gonna like play this. But when it's all on me alone, I probably wouldn't be able to manage either.
Yeah. I also wonder if it has to do with not being a celebrity. Well, I should say not used to being on TV and doing these things, where I feel like when you're a celebrity, especially like actual reality TV stars, they're used to putting on and being a character.
Well, but have you watched the Traders, the other?
Girl, the UK version.
I'm trying to tell you.
Oh my God.
And they're not celebrities.
That's true. And they are
what a time.
ruthless.
I love
They are.
it.
I've only watched maybe the first season, first or second season. I don't remember.
You got to watch this last season.
Because
I
that
just
is true.
finished it and I was in there screaming.
Yeah, that is true.
Screaming.
That specifically that UK version,
Woo!
them
What a
folk
time.
are ruthless. That is true.
That last season pissed me off. You should watch that last season.
Okay, I would.
Um,
I love shows like this though. My favorite style of like game reality show is this kind of. It's just such a good time to watch, and I enjoy shows like that. Did you see? Because Instagram has picked up that I am enjoying these, so they served me Boston Rob. He's turning 50, and so is Survivor. So I feel like, I don't know if he's putting it out in the ether to like be picked up or if it's actually coming true. But if Boston Rob does Survivor 50, I'm watching.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I have been a fan of Boston Rob now since Traders.
Since Trader,
you know,
since about 2 months ago.
Correct. You know, since about 4
Let's
weeks
go,
ago.
Rob.
I'm now a Boston Rob fan. I do think he came in a little too hot though.
Amen.
You know, he had his mistakes. However, he was on Deal or No Deal Island.
Oh yeah. You were saying that.
Loved him on that. Okay. Loved him on that. So if he does Survivor 50, and that feels big, right?
Yeah,
Survivor
yeah.
50 feel like it's going to be like a big ordeal. So it feel like a good time for me to jump in. I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Well, no, I had one more thing I
go
needed
for
to
it.
say about it, and then we can go. Oh, I know. Because Chris is gone now. But before he left, right, when they were trying to have who voted for Lydia? Because Lydia got out. And Jamie's dumbass said she did, right? And although it was dumb and smart, because she would never be that obvious. And so
But they were being dumb.
But they were being dumb and believing it. So that was like stupid. But also Chris, who just expressed his undying love for Sydney. And I can't save you and blah, blah, blah. And then when they gonna ask him, who did you vote for? He gonna say, I voted for Sydney. No, the hell you didn't, boy. That was so stupid. It's
was
not
so
believable.
stupid.
And there's other people to pick.
That's why I didn't understand why he didn't choose other people. But let me tell you who was smart about it. That's Sam.
Sam.
Full on, she's a millionaire. Let me tell you what actually happened. I don't believe he voted for that girl.
No.
I think he's covering
is
it
so
up. She
smart.
picked up so fast.
And pivots and is able to, hey. So y'all know how 1 + 1 is always equal 2. He showed looking like 2 over there.
Listen, because he said, quick, who had the police thing? Her and her story. She said, who had the police thing? Him and his story.
Him. Police escort, huh?
He didn't know what to say sitting at that table.
He was like,
oh, I did say that, didn't I?
I didn't know you knew. Because earlier he was all confident. I'm going to save it for the table.
Yeah.
And so is she.
And
sir.
so is she.
And her idea is more developed than yours.
It felt like when, what was the showdown of the two werewolves?
When
Black
drag queen, Bob the drag queen, right?
That's not who I meant, but even better, it don't matter. But Bob the drag queen going against Zac Efron's brother, Dylan.
Oh, I thought you were talking about New York Rob and Bob the drag queen when he's the one who got him out.
He did. Even better. It don't matter because any one of them is good. The point is that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
When they're more prepared than the other person and you don't realize you brought a knife to a gunfight.
Yes.
That's what it felt like. He just thought he had it all in the bag and she was like, no.
His ass
I have
so
point
good.
by point by point. Fully the werewolf, or not the werewolf, fully the millionaire. But point by point, I'm finna lay this out why it's actually you for him to open up his case and for it to be empty.
And then her dumb ass, there's another. Why was she at that table overreacting? Now you done played yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think they're going to get her out now that she is not the millionaire.
Absolutely
I think she's going to go.
It's gonna be great. If you're not tapped into the show, tap in. It is so much fun. Please watch it because it's just a good time. That's all.
Okay, Mel, how do you have time to do all you do? Mother of two, under 10, wife. I'm not a lawyer, reality TV and outings with Alyssa on top of being sick earlier in the week.
I have a clone. This is not Melanie that you're looking at. It's another version of her. I don't know, child. The way we all do it.
Phaedra is another one, Shay, that she came and then people were always outmatched.
Incredible.
Sitting at that table.
Would you be good on this show?
Absolutely not.
Right? I would be Lauren.
I would.
Oh my God.
The thing
Can't
is,
lie.
But see, this is my problem. I don't like folks that you signed up for a show about lying and deceit.
I agree with that.
Why are you? This is not me.
Yeah.
Girl, stop. Stop. Everybody's taking this way too serious. That's the only thing when Jamie was like, all right, girl, enough. Like,
yeah, I agree with
relax.
that.
This is not an indictment on your whole personality and your character. Like, it's a game. You signed up to do it. You did it. It's a job. Shut up. That's where people be pissing me off because y'all be doing too much.
I agree with that.
So I wouldn't be doing all that. However, the way Lauren was freaking out behind the camera, that would be me because I'm not good at lying. I'm not this whole strategy thing. I would be like, so who should I go after? Yeah. Oh my God. Like I wouldn't be. That I would be a frazzled mess.
I agree. I would be bad. I wouldn't. The pressure of it would get me. I also would just be like abnormally quiet. Which is not, I would start off being quiet in order to like prepare for when I actually got it. Now I'm just consistently quiet. But the minute they gave me like a shot or a drink or something, all of a sudden I'd be a different person. They'd be like, who the hell is this bitch? Because she is two different people.
That was Sam. What was her name? Samuel?
Oh, the lady who got out like first, low key?
Yeah. Say Young.
Say Young, yeah.
Ciao.
Yeah. She was crying. Anyway.
And Phil had no sympathy.
No, he
Girl,
didn't.
enough.
He was like, get her out of here.
All right. Because you remember everything and now
it's unfair.
Go on and go.
All right. Fun times.
Yeah, it was very good. And those agendas, I would do something obvious too. I would be like, I can't say Justin Timberlake. Okay. Who was in NSYNC?
Sam is like asking her little questions, but she asked it again in front of people, and nobody even paid attention.
I thought for sure she was gonna get found out.
Now, how come we gotta keep telling you Justin Timberlake's name?
Literally,
you didn't say it 3 times.
The best thing she did was say it to people individually, so they're not caught on. When she said it in front of the group, I was like,
"What?" Yeah, I agree. Corey was the best. The way he did it was the best.
Yeah, it really was, and he's not gonna get found out.
No,
I don't think so. We'll see how the season ends.
I don't think so. That Sydney's probably going to win. I think she's going to be the next millionaire, and I think that she's going to. She is I don't like her. I don't know why. I just felt like she's the person I don't care for. But I feel like she's going to be a millionaire, and she's going to be good at it.
They already think she is, so she might want to be careful.
Well, that's true. We'll see.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will not be live on Monday, but we will be in your feed next week, Friday, which I think is the 11th. Thank you very much. We will record then. So have a good weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.